Welcome guys, I welcome you to today's mathematical class. We are going to continue from where we stopped last time, and the topic we are treating is place value system. And as I told us last time, we have been able to cover completely positive numbers, and like I told us in the past that we have to treat negative numbers also, because these two used to confuse some students. So we are concentrating on negative numbers today. When I say negative numbers, what do I really mean? I mean numbers that have minus attached to it. Negative numbers or minus like this attached to the numbers, as against the one that have plus attached to it or no sign attached to it, as I told us last time. So follow me, and it will do you well to understand negative numbers, so it will not be confusing you in any exam or class. So negative numbers are numbers as this: -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, and so on. So anytime you see a number like this, it is called negative numbers. And one thing about negative numbers is that the more you count on, the smaller the number gets. For example, you can see -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. As you continue to count, -1 is bigger than -6, while -5 is smaller than -2. That is one thing I want you guys to understand very clearly. Let me demonstrate it more with this drawing. Watch as I draw this. Let's do the comparison. At the middle here, you have your 0. This side is the positive. This side is the negative. I draw like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here you have, okay, I draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here you have -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. It works like magic. From this middle, you count 1, 2, 3, 4. As you count 1, 2, 3, 4 towards your right, the number gets bigger. As you can see, 5 is bigger than 1. This one, as you count towards the left, it gets smaller. As you can see, -1 is bigger than -5. But if you should count from left to right in the negative side, it will now move as it is now. As you move like this, it's bigger. As you move like this, it's smaller. And that is what confuses some students sometimes. So that is why I take my time to explain it well. Take note of these small explanations we are giving you. Okay, to see if what I explain is very clear, watch this question now. See the two questions. Number 1, which of these numbers is the least? Which of these numbers is the least? -15, 5, -10, -18, -35. Which of these numbers is the least? As you can see, this is 5 here, which is very small. This is 18, this is 35. Ordinarily, someone that doesn't understand very well may think is 5, but no. The least is -35. Answer: 35. Provided that this negative sign is attached to it, the highest figure among the numbers is the smallest. But those ones that this minus is not attached, the biggest figure among them is the highest, while the biggest among the negative is the least. That is the irony of the whole thing. See another one, number 2. Which of these numbers is the biggest? Which of these numbers is the biggest? Don't be confused. The first number 1 question says which of the numbers is the least, and -5 becomes the answer. Then the next question now, which of these numbers is the biggest? And see the numbers here. You have 0, you have -1, -2, -1, -2, -5, -100. Which number here is the biggest? Remember, we have 100, we have 5, we have 2, we have 1, we have 0. Which of the number is the biggest? Answer: 0. How does it sound? How can somebody explain it that 0 is bigger than 100 just because this sign is attached to it? But that is it for you in mathematics. This 0 is bigger than -1 because as you are counting from positive to negative, if you count, for example, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, it is after 0 before you now cross to the side of -1, 2, 3. So before you count to -100, that is to show that 0 is much bigger than -100. That is one thing about these negative signs. That is our one note. Then, as we have talked about that one, let us also look at numbers with decimal points. This is another thing that confuse students a lot. Numbers with decimal points. This is another thing that confuse students. Numbers with decimal points. What do I mean by number with decimal points? It means numbers that carry points in between. Numbers that carry points or decimal points in between is what I mean by decimal number. It could be positive number, it could be negative numbers. For example, let me start with positive numbers. Number with decimal points. Positive numbers. That is to say, positive numbers with decimal points. It can be big numbers, it can be small numbers. E.g., you have 1.5, 0.25, you have 0.006, etc. All these numbers are numbers with decimal points and they are positive numbers. Also, let us look at negative numbers. Negative numbers with decimal points. Let us look at it. E.g., you could still use the same number, such as minus 1.5, minus 0.25, minus 0.006, etc. So numbers like this are called numbers with decimal points. Okay, look at another aspect I want us to look at now. Permit me to fill in this side. These are the basic things in mathematics that if a child does not grab very well as he's starting in his mathematical education, it will continue to disturb that child for a long time. And sometimes after the exam, the child will be thinking that he has done well or she has done well, not knowing that she has not done well anything. Place value system among numbers with decimal. Place value system among numbers with decimal points or decimals. This is another one that used to disturb students. Whole number place value system can be a problem for students that don't understand it very well. Just like we treated before, when I write some numbers and tell you to find the position of each of the numbers, that was on the positive side, or numbers without decimal points. But this one is another one that can even confuse students even much more. Because when they have numbers such as, let's say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 0.6789. Then when they tell you now to place the value system, the one at the left side before the point is always very easy to identify. But the ones at the right side of the dot of the point is the one that confuses students much. So like in this one now, here you have, let's take a look at this number that confuses students a lot. When you have numbers like this, as I told us last time, when you have number that carries dots and they want you to place the value, to know how to place the values of each of them, the ones that are on the left side of the dots is always more easy. But the ones on the right, many students used to confuse it, not knowing the right value to attach to it. For example, this one, they have 1, 2, 3, 4 dots, 6, 7, 8, 9. Assuming that they tell us to place the value now. Okay. Yes, guys, pay attention to what I'm about to explain at this point. For you to know the right value to be attached to numbers with decimal points, the ones on the left hand side and the ones on the right hand side of the dot sometimes becomes a problem for some students. Watch now. As I told us before, that if they ask you now to place the values of each of these numbers, assuming that there's no dot at all, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, you simply say that this is unit, tens, hundred, and thousand. This is how it is done. Even when the point, the number carries dot like this, the formula still goes the same. This is unit, this is 10, this is 100, and this is 1000. Like this. But where the problem is this ones on the right hand side. That is the one that confuses them. They think it's still the same thing. That this one should be units, tens, 100, and 1000. But it's not like that. Because already this side. So I really want you students to understand how to place the value on numbers after the decimal point. Like this 6 here. If you want to place the value, unlike this one that is this side, this 6 should not be unit, but instead it should be 10. But the 10 is pronounced as tenths. You see it? Tenths. Why this one is hundredth? Capital H, then he puts small letter th. Hundredths. Why this one is thousandths? Watch me. Thousandths. Can you see it? This is how to place the value on numbers that are after the decimal point, so that no matter how they put the question, it will not confuse you. For example, let us see these few questions I want to set now. Exemplary questions. Exemplary questions. Number 1. What is the value of 2 in 1476.25? That is the question now. The value of 2 in this figure 1476. Solution. If you watch these two, 1476, 1476.2, the 2 comes after the dot, and for that reason this 2 is in 10th position, not just 10. Answer now, 10th position, because it is the first number after the decimal point. See another one. Number 2 question. What is the value? What is the value of 4 in 25.674? What is the value of 4 in this figure here? Answer. Because 4 is at this position after the decimal point, you have 1, 2, 3. This is the tenths, this is the hundredths, this is the thousandths. So the position is thousandths. Or in short, capital TH, then thousandths. Or if you like, you say 4,000. That is the answer. See the third question. Let me clean this side. These things I'm explaining, if you know how much students are failing it in exams, all this junior WAEC, senior WAEC, and other things, not to talk of JAMB, see the rate at which students are failing because they don't understand it very well. Number 3, state the value of 6. State the value of 6 in 7345. In 7345.3674. The value of 6. See the 6 here. So sometimes they know that students used to confuse when the value they want to place is on this side. So sometimes the question, majority of the question on value system normally come from the numbers this side. So this is now for you to know the place value of its answer. As I told us, the first number is tenth and the next one is hundredth. So since 6 is here after the first number after the decimal point, it is the hundredth position. Hundredth position. So this 6 here, because it came after, this is decimal point, this is the first number, is the second number, it is in the position of hundredth. So either I write it like this, hundredth, or I write as 600th. 600th. Anyone. But if you come out in OBJ, you watch very well to know how the ABCD, how they place it. If they place it in this form, you pick it. If they place it in this form, you pick it. Both of them are correct. But if there's no OBJ, that is theory, then if you put it in this way, correct. Put it in this way, correct. So guys, this is where we are going to cut the curtain. I want you to take your time, watch it very well, and understand. And remember, as you follow what I teach you today, if there is any way where you have question or you have comments, do well to make your comments, subscribe, and follow us as we go on this. And also don't forget to turn on your notification bell, so whenever we place our video in YouTube will automatically notify you, so you will not miss any of our video. Thank you and see you next.